Let's start this broadcast with the latest coming in from Gaza. As Israel and Hezbollah engage in their heaviest exchange of missiles since the beginning of the Gaza War, the United States says that it is keeping track of the situation and is working to avert any further escalation.
I can't speak directly to the conversations that unfolded yesterday, other than to say there was continuous communication, and we have been tracking the threat of Hezbollah attacks against Israel for some time now. And of course, those attacks have been unfolding since October 7th, in addition to the specific operations and actions that took place yesterday.
Hezbollah leader Said Hassan Nasrallah said that it was able to carry out its attack, quote-unquote, as planned in retaliation to the killing of top Hezbollah commander Fuad Shukr in Beirut last month. Nasrallah said Hezbollah managed to fire 320 rockets and drones at Israel. On the other hand, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu claimed that the country's military had intercepted all the missiles and drones that Hezbollah launched at strategic targets. Netanyahu also claimed that Israel had carried out preemptive strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon. He claimed that 100 Israeli fighter jets destroyed thousands of rocket launchers of the Iran-backed group. Nasrallah refuted the claims as false, adding that only dozens of rocket launchers were destroyed. Meanwhile, the United States has cleared it was not involved in the strikes in Lebanon or the shooting down incoming of projectiles. A U.S. official said that America's role was limited to tracking the barrage of rockets and drones launched by Hezbollah. The question today is, what will happen next in West Asia? Well, Nasrallah said Hezbollah would assess the result of the operation carried out on Sunday and would determine whether it would carry out further attacks. On the other hand, the Israeli Prime Minister has warned that his country's preemptive strike on Hezbollah in Lebanon was not the end of the story. Meanwhile, Reuters reported that Israel and Hezbollah had communicated via intermediaries in order to prevent further escalation. Now, correspondent Jody Cohen has more on this, on the possibility of a further escalation in the region.
So this is the second day of the state of emergency in Israel, but the Home Front Command have eased restrictions in central Israel. Restrictions on gatherings and advice to stay near shelters now only apply in northern Israel. Now, commentators suggest that by Israel taking out thousands of Hezbollah rocket launcher barrels before they struck Israel, this potentially saved thousands of lives and averted potentially a much larger war. And Lebanon's Christian opposition leader has called to disarm Hezbollah to prevent an escalation. Meanwhile, Israel and Hezbollah have reportedly sent messages saying that they don't want a full-scale war. However, the Houthis have praised Hezbollah's attack and said that they would attack Israel in the coming days. And the Iran's Revolutionary Guard's commander-in-chief has reiterated Iran's pledge to attack Israel. And on Monday morning, the Israeli army said that they shot down a suspicious objects reportedly coming from Syria. Now, Prime Minister Netanyahu reportedly also said to one of the released hostages that he believes the existence of Tel Aviv, Ra'anana and Haifa and everything in Israel is at stake. And I asked Prime Minister's spokesperson David Mencer about Israel's preparations for further attacks, and he suggested that Israel is on full alert in the face of threats from Iran and its proxies.
Now, these developments also come at a time when a truce deal is on the table between Hamas and Israel. Jody has more on this.
So a US official said that the talks in Cairo have been constructive. The official suggested that all sides are interested in agreeing a deal. The official said that talks would continue over the coming days through working groups to address the remaining issues and details. Now, it appears to be an optimistic assessment. Hamas head Yahya Sinwar has reportedly come under heavy pressure to accept the US bridging proposal, but Hamas spokesperson Osama Hamdan has said that any talk of an imminent deal is false, suggesting that Hamas is rejecting the proposal as it currently stands. Meanwhile, Hamas has claimed responsibility for a rocket fired at Rishon LeZion, which is a city just south of Tel Aviv, Israel's economic capital. That happened on Sunday night. But talks for the release of some of the 109 hostages still being held captive in Gaza and for a truce in the fighting between Israel and Hamas are expected to continue.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.